Thank you for attending. I want to welcome everybody here. We've got a nice crowd, so it's really terrific to see everyone here. And I'm Bill Lambert, as Gina introduced. I am the mayor of the city of Moscow. Before I get started, I'd like to thank the Chamber of Commerce, Gina Teruscio, and her staff for hosting us today. It's a pleasure to be here, folks. In my presentation today, I'll be hitting a few of the high points from 2013 with a few notes about work that we'll be doing as we move forward into the future, folks. And the first thing we're going to talk about is leadership. As you may know, there were several transitional leadership in 2013, including the mayor and several of our council folks, several new councilors. Art Betke's out there in the audience, he's new. John Weber, he was a former veteran on the council at one time, and he was elected this year, as well as a rerun on Walter Speed. Walter's around here somewhere that was elected. So there we go. We got several, most of the councilors are here as well. Tom Lamar. And I have not seen it again, but he's somewhere. So we'll go from there. And also, President Stevens, our new University of Idaho president, I've had the fortune of getting a chance to talk to Chet. And I'm really looking forward to working with him on a one-on-one basis on a number of things. And so I think that's a really good start for our community. One of the things I tasked Chuck with the very first time I met him was I said, look, we've had 7 presidents in 15 years. So we need some commitments out of you. So I held his feet to the fire a little bit on this because that's the kind of guy I am and how I work on things. He got kind of in charge of it. And he assured me that this is his last day as a teacher in law school. So I'm looking forward. Hopefully we can have this guy with us for a decade. Okay, community partnerships and initiatives. The city of Moscow has had a long-standing tradition of partnering with our community. Some of the events that we have that are ongoing include Poverty on the Police Forums. So there's actually a meeting today at 3:30 in the City Hall for the next in the series of this event. City Cleanup Day is scheduled for May the 2nd this year, right before graduation, and the opening of the Moscow Farmers Market kicks off on May 3rd. Pollution Knowledge Corridor is a great partnership between our universities, cities, counties, economic development agencies, and they've got an exciting event coming up in June. It's called Be the Entrepreneur Boot Camp. It should be a great event to promote innovation and entrepreneurship in our Moscow area and in the Palouse area. Other projects including our community granting initiative with the Chamber of Commerce and the University of Idaho, which I'll talk more about in just a moment, but that's going to be a key thing for our community. And we're also excited about being able to assisting the Moscow School District with some fiber needs for their temporary classrooms in the 1912 building as the high school goes through some renovations and some construction, as well as the community playfields projects that I'll also talk about in a few moments. Here in Moscow, we are open for business, folks. One of the messages that I've shared with our community and have taken to both our state and national representatives is that Moscow, Idaho is open for business. Locally, I've made time to take visits to our businesses each week, and I'm working with organizations to improve our downtown banner program. I'm also excited to note many businesses that have started in 2013, and perhaps a few that even began in 2012 are listed here. We try to capture these best as we can throughout word of mouth and just by paying attention, but every once in a while I may miss a few. And if I have, I'd love to hear about any of the new businesses you know of so I can check them out, pay them a visit, and let them know how much we appreciate their endeavors here in Moscow and what it means to us. On that note, I would like to congratulate the Chamber on the record level membership of more than 500 businesses, and that goes right to Gina Teruscio. I realize Gina is modest about these sort of things, but she is a pusher. But that has to do with a lot of the other folks that have been Chamber members as well that has helped with that cause. A lot of terrific volunteers to help with that. I'm going to talk a little bit about customer service improvements, some of the things that we've looked at here in the city. And one of the things that we've missed in recent history, and this goes back as far as 1996, are our contract with the developer meetings. We began hosting those meetings again, and they will be ongoing thing for our staff and the community development, engineering department, members of the contractor community as well. We formed a committee of like I said, our development, community development, engineering, as well as a group of contractors themselves, so they can work through some of the communication issues and problems that we've had in the past. And we look forward to an ongoing relationship with this committee and those that are involved in development here in our area. Community branding, this is something that is new, and this is an exciting thing in an effort to promote our community and to help communicate to folks why Moscow is such a great place. The Chamber of Commerce, along with the University of Idaho and the City of Moscow, are excited about working together to develop a community brand. We're not just looking at a new shiny logo, but more of the messaging that we can also use to highlight why we're special and how to build that uniqueness that makes Moscow the great place that it is. And I look forward to this project and applaud the efforts of the Chamber of Commerce as well as the University for their partnership in this fantastic opportunity that we have. This is a terrific example of my firm belief that every one of us in this town, if we move together, that being the Chamber, the City of Moscow, as well as the University, there is nothing that we cannot do, and we will achieve the things that we want to achieve, and we'll do it as a team. One of the big things for me is team involvement and all of us working together to make things happen and staying focused on that. I want to shift gears to our Moscow School District community playfields. We've had joint planning and construction costs of $1.5 million from both the City of Moscow and the Moscow School District. This is on the new ball fields, and the maintenance and programming costs will be managed with financial assistance from the school district as well. The playfields include 2 soccer and lacrosse fields, 3 softball and baseball fields, 1 regulation baseball field with open recreation areas as well. Today, we're scheduled to put this project out for bid as of April 1st of this year to look for construction this summer and fall. And hopefully, if the turf comes in, we'll be ready to go by 2015, the fall of 2015, with this process in our project. And this, thanks to all of our community for their support. The entire community has been behind us and very supportive of this wonderful endeavor, and it makes me kind of proud to be a part of that. So, everyone in this room, thank you. I never run out of words to say. I just get thirsty once in a while. Now, folks, we're going to talk about another endeavor in front of us, and this is the Pullman Moscow Airport runway realignment. A number of you folks in the room know about this. This has been kind of an ongoing process for a number of years now, but it's coming closer and closer to fruition for us. And what this is, and what this means for our local area and our local community, the FAA has made this project one of their top projects in the northwestern United States, which is a very important thing for us here on the Blues. And it's a regional thing that's good for our entire region. Of course, that includes both the University of Idaho, Washington State, the City of Pullman, as well as Moscow, and us as a region as the Blues. And what this grant is, this is a $66 million project, folks, that's coming before us, with $60 million of that as a grant from the FAA. We have worked, like I said, it's been an ongoing project, and the work is in front of us. And one of the things that we're trying to do, there's a 10% match project that this goes through the state of Washington, and the 6.5 goes through the state of Idaho. So we're trying to actually get this to go through the state of Idaho. We've talked to a number of our senators, our U.S. senators, as well as our representatives for the state to see if they can't help us with this, as well as the Pullman folks talking to their senators from Washington, Murray and Senator Cantwell as well. And here's the thing, is the difference is if we can get this in Idaho, basically what we do, we save $2.3 million, which is a huge thing for our entire area. And this project, one of the things, folks, I got to tell you, I've talked to people and they don't quite understand this. If we don't get this realignment to happen here in our airport, we will lose any air service that we currently have now. And that's a big deal, and that should be something that should concern all of us. And it'll also if we do lose that, we lose that opportunity for extending this runway into a more safe, practical manner where larger jets and aircraft can come in and come out. And a lot of the flights that we see that do not get a chance to go out because of our old equipment will be updated so that we can make this thing happen. The last airport board meeting I went to, there was 28 flights that were canceled this year. 27 of those flights, we would have had the newer equipment would have been able to come in and leave, which is a big deal for us. So that's something that folks need to think about, they need to talk about, because that's something that's coming up. This also, if we don't get this through, this is a development thing for our whole region and our area, folks, and it will make a difference on what goes on here in Moscow, as well as what goes on in Pullman, Burke Road, as well as businesses and new businesses and the good kind of businesses that we're looking forward to trying to prosper here in our area. So, with that going, you know, one thing that everybody in here also needs to understand is Idaho does consider the Pullman-Moscow Airport an Idaho airport. And I don't know if a lot of people know that. That's registered as one of the 7 airports here in our state. Okay, we're going to move on to the Moscow Urban Renewal Agency, called the URA. Good news from the Moscow Urban Renewal Agency, the Alturas District is preparing to close out in 2015, and they've been contracted with a local broker, Blues Commercials, to assist in selling the remaining six lots. The economic impact of this district has been tremendous. And so this is something that's been terrific. It was established in 1986. The assessed value of the property within the revenue allocation area was originally $6.4 million. Improvements and developments made as a result of the Alturas Research and Technology Park Urban Renewal Plan has assisted in increasing property values dramatically, and today that same area is valued at more than $22 million. Legacy Crossing is our new district and is undergoing some changes itself, with the EPA required brownfield assessment and remediation currently underway to help the agency's property at 6th and Jackson be prepared for development, and the 2013 relocation of ENSI to Legacy Crossing in downtown core of Moscow. This district is really making great strides. Brownfields. A brownfield assessment grant of $475,000 was awarded to the City of Moscow in September of 2010. That grant allows us to assist property owners in assessing the hazardous substances, pollutants, and contaminants on the property as required by the EPA. Assessments in some cases, remediation may be required in order to develop and sell that property. So we're making some strides in that, and we are moving forward with that. That's a terrific grant for us to get some of these areas that need to be cleaned up well on the way so that they can be a useful need throughout our city. Arts, this is one of the fun things for me to talk about is arts. Public art and the arts in Moscow continue to thrive. We've had several installations in the past year, including vinyl wrapped utility boxes in downtown, newly cast sanitary sewer manhole covers, and our sculpture garden at Moscow Intermodal Transit Center. One of the most important arts-related activity that occurred in 2013 is the development of the Moscow Farmers Market Commission. The market has been a community event that has occurred downtown for more than 35 years. And realizing the magnitude and importance of our market was determined through a strategic planning process that a dedicated commission was vital to providing balanced representation of the stakeholders, including vendors, customers, and businesses. Now, this has been terrific, and it's ongoing, and it just gets better. So this commission has been doing terrific work. We have also had terrific exhibits at the 3rd Street Gallery in 2013, and look forward to our art walk, which is scheduled for June 13th of 2014, so that's coming up here in a few months, folks. Now I'd like to shift a little bit to Parks and Rec. Projects in Parks and Recreation are moving forward. So, the high points include, of course, the Moscow School District community play fields, the newly striped fog lines on portions of Paradise Path. The entranceway to Latah County Library looks beautiful, in my view. New ADA accessible restrooms at East City Park, And thanks to our local Rotarians, a newly donated and constructed pavilion at Rotary Park was put up in 2013. So thank you, Rotarians. And I don't know all of you, but there's got to be some of you in this room. Wow, well, thank you very much. Well, thank you very much, Shirley. Good job to you guys. You know, whenever we have a change in Moscow, we're a smart community, but every time we have a little bit of a change, a little bit of a hiccup, sometimes it's kind of interesting because we always have a tendency to check into it as a community. I want to talk a little bit about sanitation and our roll carts. Now, we made some progress here, folks, and of course, we didn't make progress without a little bit of heartburn. But as part of the process, as I said, because we know we're all kind of a little bit suspicious of Moscow. We want to make sure it fits and it works for us before we really want to do things. But with the roll carts implemented, here's some of the statistics are right there in front of you. The 2013 brought a transition from the traditional garbage cans to the new roll cart system with good success. August through February, nearly 77 tons of weight has been reduced. So think about that, folks. This is wet water mess. From August through February, nearly 77 tons of waste weight has been reduced. This is fewer panels that have been hauled away, and of course it results in a $3,500 cost reduction through that same time period. So that's a big deal. Okay, we'll move to Public Works. We had a lot of projects happening in our Public Works Department. We had on ongoing installation of the ADA compliant ramps that you've probably seen throughout the city, with more of them to come, of course. During 2013, we did a tremendous amount of work on the multimodal transportation plan, which will be completed this summer. Part of the pavement management program included work you saw down on Main Street in 2013, and that entire project was completed in just 5 days. And I was actually surprised at how quick that went. That was a nice, fast, smooth transition as far as I was concerned, and hats off to all those that were involved with that. Currently, we are awaiting the results of the judicial confirmation process to complete the construction of well number 10, and are gearing up for the next round of sidewalk program improvements as well within our city. Police Department. Talk a little bit about our police department because we've got one of the finest in the space, in my view. The Moscow Police Department hosted our 13th annual Citizens Police Academy from January through April of 2013. The 2013 session had 25 community and university members who completed the program and graduated on April 10th of 2013. And I got to share with you folks, 8 years ago when I first got on council, I went through the police academy by myself because I wanted to see more what the officers did and intermix with that. And there was a group at that time of 20 of us that started. And when I went through the whole thing, I very much enjoyed it because, and I would urge citizens out there that want to do something, in the wintertime it gets kind of boring around here with the snow and gray weather that we have, and that's a good thing to do. And the police department would love to see you. Now, there's a bunch of university kids, of course, that they go for class credentials or class credit, or those that are going on as well to want to be a police officer down the road. And it's really terrific involvement and getting a chance to meet all those players. Our police department does a terrific job with that Citizens Academy. Our police department was reaccredited in June of 2013. The on-site Chief of Police Association assessment team found that the department was 100% compliant at the same time. That, folks, is a big deal. That's hats off to our police department. Alive at 25 is a driver's safety for kids that are 15 to 24-year-olds designed to reduce traffic deaths by teaching participants how to gain awareness and stay safe on the road. And there's also a Take 25, and then this is a little bit different. This is a national program that encourages parents to take 25 minutes to talk about 2 young children about safety and encourage others to do the same thing. New in 2013 was the department's National Night Out event that was provided fun and an educational night for area families, which provided to be a great success for community policing as well as crime prevention education. Our Officer Newville Safety Kids Safety Fair is scheduled for June 7th at the Eastside Marketplace for this year. That event has been happening since 2005 when we started off, and we had originally 300 participants. In 2013, there was an estimated 1,200 attendees and more than 560 bike helmets given away, in addition to more than 60 car seat inspections with 17 new car seats. We have one community person, and he's not here, but he needs recognition, and that's John Kimberly. John was instrumental in this employment. John is a modest guy. I've known John since 1977, and one of the things he wouldn't do is take a pat on the back. This guy has been involved with this since the inception of it, and has done remarkable work. And so for those of you out there that didn't know that, I just wanted to make sure you did know that. So thank you, John Kimberly. Okay, we're going to move on to our fire department. Our town could not get along without the fire department. I see Chief Ed back there having lunch at the back table. I have to have a drink of water first. I don't want to choke up while I'm talking about our fire department because they do such a terrific job for us here in the whole city of Moscow. The city of Moscow is proud to announce that the city will continue to enjoy Fire Defense Classification 3 rating it has maintained since 1999. Sorry. This is a big deal, folks. This rating results in significant insurance savings to both residential and commercial property owners within Moscow, and is a similar of a rating to larger career departments such as the city of Boise and the city of Coeur d'Alene. And that's a big deal. And it's exciting, the volunteer program that we have here. In addition, the funds, we've got a first safety house. This fire safety house trailer provides additional opportunities for fire prevention outreach programs for Moscow and the surrounding areas. And they've utilized that, and it's been something that has been paid for by themselves. It's been terrific. In 2013, they had a mass casual exercise that was organized, and it ran for 2 days in partnership with area agencies, the local hospital, and the community, including 200 participants. About 60 of those were from our departments, and the other from mutual aid partners, county search and rescue, county commission response team, and so forth. You know, and it's important to emphasize the accomplishments. This wouldn't be possible if it were not for the dedicated service of more than 100 volunteer firefighters to serve our community. The city of Moscow not only needs to, we should thank each and every volunteer for their commitment to excellence. Man, I'll tell you what, we need to give you guys a round of applause. That's a big deal, folks, and that's something that is unique in our state, that's unique in communities, and it's been a big deal for decades here in Moscow, and those folks make it work for us. Okay, we'll talk about community development next. Community development has been working on a council goal to develop improvement plans for the beautification of the city entrances. That project has been moving forward and is looking at areas of opportunities for enhancements in possible public and private partnerships. Our Legacy Crossing Urban Renewal District Overlay Zone Plan recently was honored with a Policy and Planning category and American Planning Association Idaho Chapter Award of Honor for Outstanding Plan as presented by Smart Growth Idaho organization through Grow Smart Awards. Construction in 2013 in Moscow, the total construction amounts was $18.5 million. 12.8 million of that was in residential. 5.7 of that construction was in commercial. And there was over a 30% increase in new single residential starts compared to 2012, although that's still 50% below the peaks of 2004 through 2006. 2014 figures to date show that we are $3.961 million, including both residential and commercial properties through March 24 this year. So we're well on our way for a good year, it looks to me like. Grants, I want to be remiss if I didn't speak a little bit about grants. The grant awards we received from 2000 to today, so roughly not quite 7 full years, total more than $10.4 million. Listed here are a few of the ongoing projects, as you can see for yourself. And we've submitted applications for an additional $300,000 in funds so far for various projects. But this is a big deal for us and for our community because it's an ongoing process for us, folks. And thank you, Ms. Anderson. You did a terrific job, in my view, for that. Long-range planning. The city is in good position to prepare for more long-term strategic planning. We've had several planning activities that will be completed this spring and summer with voters that have also been recently updated. We'll have a great foundation to build upon as we look into the future. And the process is slated to begin this fall. Some of those you can see up there for yourselves as we go along here. I want to share with you, this presentation is online, so anybody can go out there and read through the notes on this and see this entire communication. So at that time, I'm going to shut this down, except I'm going to take some questions. So one of the things I like to do is ask folks things and see what's on their mind. So I would entertain questions at this time.